So the drama and the trauma continues. You know that train that derailed in February? Well, yeah, the outlay of that is still traumatizing the residents there. And clearly the residents of East Palestine are still going through, still catching hell. And I want you to check out this tweet right here from Status Quo. 67 days since the East Palestine train derailment. Below are ongoing rashes residents are developing on city water, which Governor Mike DeWine and the EPA have declared safe. This rash is on the back of resident Julie Richel. She's had for nearly 3 weeks, and we got permission to post this. And you can see the rash that is on her back, and her whole family is being impacted by this. If you want to see more photographs and go deeper into the story, just go ahead and go to Status Quo on Twitter. And Governor DeWine did, and the EPA, they absolutely did say that that water was okay to drink, the water was okay to bathe in, despite fish, thousands of fish dying, despite wildlife revealing that there is something wrong with the water, the soil, and the air. They actually told these residents that it was okay. And also this headline right here, Ohio train derailment highlights waste disposal predicament. When words surfaced that soils and liquids laced with chemicals from the East Palestine, Ohio train derailment were being sent to southeastern Michigan for storage, local residents and politicians were livid, and they had every single right to be livid. And I'm glad that folks are in tune and they're not just letting these folks send this stuff here without putting up a fight. They should be. And sisters and brothers and family and friends, don't you think this system is asinine? Don't you think it's a stupid system to allow poison soil or poison anything that just ravaged one community to send it to another community? I mean, what kind of sense does that make? Not only is it a systemic failure that this is happening in this country, it's immoral as hell. It really is. And again, residents, don't take this. Nobody should take this. This is an example of structural failure, what we're witnessing right here. And East Palestine is just one example of this. This happens all the time, all over this country. It is East Palestine that is just reminding us that we shouldn't continue to take this nonsense. So people were seeing pictures of what happened in Ohio, the smoke plumes, wildlife dying. They were hearing about people having health issues, and that's scary. And now it's coming into your community, and that's coming from Jordyn Sellek, a director of a local government coalition, right? Nobody don't want that stuff in their backyard, and they mainly ship it through communities that are either working class, working poor, barely middle class, because there's a class issue here. Yeah, is it race at times? Absolutely it is. But by and large, it's classism. Because see, the residents of East Palestine, that's a working community that has some poor people in it, some working class people in it. So they expendable. But just like the residents of Flint, Michigan, or Jackson, Mississippi, it's the same pattern, sisters and brothers and family and friends. And we should not take it. So loud was the outcry that the US Environmental Protection Agency halted shipments from the crash site in the town of 5,000 to a hazardous waste landfill and underground deep injection wells in suburban Detroit. People, again, have every single right to be mad as hell and decide that they're not gonna take it anymore. Big Wise, some of your thoughts about what continues to happen. I mean, this is we can't call it the gift that keeps on giving, but we keep getting new revelations about what is happening in East Palestine and how it is really impacting everybody in this country to some extent, some more directly and others of us indirectly.
Yeah, if ever there was a case that proved that we needed a robust regulatory state in order to keep people safe and secure, this is it, right? What can these people do? These poor and working people do about this multi-billion-dollar corporation's huge F up? There's no other way to describe this. How are they supposed to fight this without their government stepping in on their behalf to regulate these folks and incentivize them to do this way more safely than is their custom, right?
That's right.
We know what they're doing. They're cutting costs in order to maximize profits, health and safety be damned. And you said it, these are the most at-risk folks that we have in our country, right? And they have no other resource. And so, yeah, this is just the most obvious case of the fact that we need a robust regulatory state, especially when it comes, again, it's not like these companies are barely getting by and it's like, oh, we can't even make a buck, or if you force us to work safely and if you force us to consider the citizens, Senator Turner, we can't make money. These are billion-dollar companies.
That's right, wow.
If you lose some of your profits, so be it. This is the safety of our communities we're talking about here.
And I'm so glad you brought up the workers, because they're being impacted by this as well. They've cut staff, they're making them work longer shifts, and then we know what just happened in the 117th Congress to the rail workers that simply wanted paid sick leave, of which they have zero. And the Congress, and this current president took away.
And Joe Biden steps in on behalf of the rail companies, of course, and they were able to claw back some, they got some stuff back. But the fact that the government stepped in when these folks organized and withheld their labor at the most opportune time for themselves, okay, they went to capitalize, Senator Turner, and lo and behold, look who steps in. Yeah, steps in the free market. Oh, look who does it.
Come on, steps in the free market. Can we teach that lesson? Stepped in and took away their right to use the strongest tool that they have in the toolbox, which is withholding their labor. Just for sick, it was for sick time. While they have zero, and some employees got a little bit of something, but overall, vastly in that industry, they do not have it. And every American should be concerned about that, because they deliver the things that we need every single day, things that we take for granted. And if we are not gonna show solidarity with rail workers, seriously, but yeah, because this president and the 117th Congress decided to take away their ability to strike, citing that it would have a detrimental impact on the economy. Now, we know that to be true. So if in fact we know that to be true, then why not give them what they want? Give them what they ask for.
Exactly, or why not put pressure on the damn company?
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Why is the pressure being put on the workers who
the burden?
Who do everything that is asked of them? They go above and beyond. These people are on call for dozens of days at a time.
Yes.
They missing family events. They don't get vacations. All of this kind of stuff. This is what they do for the measly compensation that they get, and yet the fat cats, they just get to call Joe Biden and his homies, and everything is right for them. It's awful.
Campaign finance reform. Campaign finance reform, because this president and that Congress, and there are about a few of them, maybe a handful of them, that voted the other way, that said, no, we're not voting against the rail workers. They should be able to strike if these fat cats, as you say, the robber barons, the rail barons of the 21st century. You know what? The owner donors won out, as they usually do. There's gonna be a reckoning in this country, though. It really is.